remote work could be the reason you don't have a job in 10 years. What? I'm never going back to the office again. Screw leadership. I'm staying home. Okay. I've been warning you. Now we have some experts. Now that I've gotten your attention, I didn't say I'm anti-remote work, so don't send me emails. I don't read them anyway. What I said is that you who say, I'm never going back again, I'm only going to do remote work, you may not have a choice. And now we got some interesting evidence. Here we go. Fortune magazine article. This is the lead paragraph in an article by Jane Thier. Workers who have been rejoicing about their ability to log on from anywhere might do well to consider the inverse. A worker somewhere else can probably do their job cheaper. For those of you that aren't watching, that's my swallow hard sound effect I'm doing on my own today. The fact that many jobs can be done from home can also mean that they can be done from anywhere around the globe. And this is often missing in the remote work discussion. This is from Anna Stansberry, a professor of work and organization studies at MIT, Sloan School of Business. So this is not some dolt. This is a sharp woman. She's really smart. She's studying the trends. She's right. She goes on to say many call center type jobs or remote first jobs like software design or back-end engineering have already been offshored. It's true. But if high-paying white-collar jobs can be done remotely, outsourcing them to cheaper areas could pretty clearly offer huge savings. The potential for change would be seismic. It's a direct quote. If all of these well-paid white-collar jobs were suddenly outsourced to less rich countries. Now, let me just pause. How many of you out there think it's possible that big-time multinational corporations, big-time American corporations that are publicly held, and it's all about the stock price, baby, you're telling me that they won't consider taking your remote job and giving it to somebody in some other country on some other continent for 30, 40, 50% less money? You think they're not already thinking about it? Get your head out of the sand. Should you be afraid? I think you should. Stansberry cites the research of Richard Baldwin, an economics professor at the Graduate Institute in Geneva, Switzerland. These are smart people, way smarter than me. I promise you that. This is a direct quote. If you can do your job from home, be scared. Be very scared. Because somebody in India or wherever is willing to do it for much less. And this is a global thing. It's absolutely right. According to the Washington Post, again, they did an analysis of the Labor Department data on remote work during the pandemic. The more a job pays, the easier it is to do remotely. And the highest paying industries like software and internet publishing have the most remote workers. The lowest paying jobs in sectors like retail and food service are also the least likely to go remote. So all that to say that in this new world of work, you trying to take a stand and saying, I'm never going back to the office could endanger your professional possibilities and you might lose your job sooner rather than later. Now, I want to paint some more of the picture because I'm not a doom and gloom guy, but I am, and I have a lot of fun every day saying I'm a man of the people and all this stuff. I'm just entertaining myself, if we must be honest. But the point is that I am warning you that this is a reality. Companies, I reported on this last week, big-time companies are saying, we want you back in the office. And I think the new norm is what they're calling hybrid. I think this is already mass adoption. And I think it's going to continue to be that way. But rest assured that in the hybrid model, it still requires for you to come into the office some. And so the options for those of you, and you know a lot of people, and I know I got a lot of new people watch this show all the time. You don't know me from Adam's House Cat. Glad you stumbled onto our show. All right. But I'm warning you that you have to pay attention to what's shifting. Has remote work become a norm? Yes, but now the shift back, and I'm talking the biggest companies in America, okay? I mean, they're coming out and they're monitoring you. I've also banged against that. Okay? I've called out Jamie Dimon by name. There are companies out there monitoring people's key fobs when they walk in. All right, we're going to cover that some more. They're monitoring your keystrokes. They're monitoring. I hate that. I think it's nannyship. I don't think it's leadership. But what I'm trying to tell you is that we could see a massive shift, and I think that you got people studying this. I think it's probably already being discussed, and watch out. You got a lot of people who said, I'm not going back, I'm never going back, and they're making six figures, folks. Good money. And they're going to get laid off. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but let me paint more of the picture here in case you think, well, Ken's just talking about a new article. Now listen, one of the major drivers of the inflationary environment that we are in right now is, in fact, wages. Hourly wages went up. You saw companies like Walmart and Target on the tail end of 2020 announce that they're going to raise their minimum wage $18, $20, $22 an hour. I got no problem with that. However, capitalism and basic economics says that when companies raise their costs, they raise their prices. You think, oh, I'm so proud of Walmart and Target. They raised everybody's wages. They're so good. Yeah, well, your loofah costs 30% more now to wash your back. When they're paying a kid $16, $18 an hour to serve you a burger combo, guess what? Your burger combo costs more. And inflation is driven by wages many, many times. It's not always supply demand. So here's my point. You think companies aren't going to try to cut costs after all this bump in salary? You're crazy. Be careful.